from JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Thursday, March the 30th, 2017. The Israeli teenager suspected in the majority of bomb threats that plagued Jewish institutions here in the U.S. since the beginning of the year remains in jail in Israel. The magistrate's court in the city of Rishon LeZion ordered the remand of the 18-year-old, who holds dual American citizenship, to be extended for another week. The teen, whose identity is still being held under a gag order, faces charges of extortion, making threats, publishing false information, and creating widespread fear and panic. The suspect's father was released by the court to house arrest under restrictive conditions. He is accused of knowing about his son's activities. While the motivation behind the over 100 bomb threats remains unclear, the suspect's attorneys maintain that a brain tumor he was diagnosed with several years ago is to blame for his behavior, and they showed evidence of that tumor in court today. Meanwhile, the man arrested in the United States earlier this month for a few of the bomb threats made his first appearance in the District Court of Manhattan yesterday. 31-year-old Juan Thompson is accused of making at least 8 bomb threats, which he said he did in the name of a former girlfriend to harass her. The public defender representing Thompson did not seek bail at yesterday's court appearance, and Thompson remains in custody. Arab leaders from Egypt, Jordan, and the Palestinian Authority met at the Arab League summit in Jordan, reportedly coordinating their positions ahead of a meet with U.S. President Donald Trump. According to the Palestinian Foreign Ministry, PA President Mahmoud Abbas, King Abdullah II of Jordan, and Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi met on the sidelines of the summit this week to coordinate ahead of their reported meet with the U.S. president sometime next month in order to discuss the, quote, crystallization of the new American position regarding the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and the Israeli-Arab conflict. U.S. Special Envoy Jason Greenblatt has been an observer at the summit this week. He told Arab foreign ministers yesterday that President Trump is committed to reaching a peace deal between Israel and the Palestinians, noting, though, that it should be done through direct talks between the parties. Israel's foreign ministry announced that it will withhold part of its dues to the United Nations this year over the anti-Israel resolutions passed last week at the UN Human Rights Council. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will reportedly withhold about $2 million of Israel's required payment to the UN and instead give that money to programs in developing nations that support Israel. And staying with the Prime Minister, Netanyahu today welcomed Slovak President Andrej Kiska to Jerusalem, the first visit by a leader of the Eastern European nation to Israel in almost 2 decades.
You're a friend, and I hope that our visit enhances our friendship and our cooperation in a changing world where we have so many common values, so many common interests.
Racist and anti-Semitic graffiti was found on the campus of a Connecticut high school this week, including a swastika. According to the Ridgefield Press, Ridgefield High School principal Stacy Gross sent an email to the community that was published in part by the paper, condemning the vandalism. She wrote, "These acts attempt to weaken our conscience, poison our spirit, and destroy the freedom of all of us. That type of behavior," she said, "does not represent the type of school that we strive to be. We will not allow our school to become a platform for hatred and intolerance of any group. Furthermore, we will not be bystanders to humiliation, and we will not be silent to the suffering of others." Israel's Minister of Sports and Culture announced this week that for the first time, a Jew from the diaspora will be invited to light one of the torches on Israel's Independence Day this year. Miri Regev said that person will be a representative of diaspora Jewry, symbolizing the, quote, unity of the Jewish people as a whole and the fact that Israel is home to all the world's Jews. Nominations are now being accepted by the ministry for an individual who personifies the concern and work being done for the future of the Jewish people and reinforces the link between world Jewry and Israel. The ceremony will take place on May the 1st. And taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Thursday, March the 30th. At 7 o'clock, it's Talmud Study with Rabbi Mordechai Becker. At 7:30 and 8, discussions from the Global Day of Learning on Judaism and the Environment. And at 8:30 tonight, we'll air more coverage of the 2017 AIPAC National Policy Conference, as U.S. Ambassador to the UN Nikki Haley is interviewed by Dan Senor, as well as the address given via satellite from Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu. That's followed by L'chaim at 9, where Mark Golub speaks to IDF Major in Reserve Amir Deri and Dr. Mordechai Kedar on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, among other issues. And at 10 tonight, author Peter Beinart leads a discussion on Israel and the settlements. And coming up right after this newscast tonight at 6:30, Mark Golub speaks with columnist Issy Liebler on a number of issues, including the increasing encroachment of the Orthodox chief rabbinate in Israel on Israeli life, and Liebler's views on Donald Trump and Israel. That's on tonight's In the News. And that's the JBS News Update for Thursday, March the 30th, 2017. I'm Teisha Bader. I will be out tomorrow, but Micah Halpern will be sitting in for me to bring you the news update. I'll be back on Monday. See you then.